Right, hi. Okay, so okay. It's only how a word can be use a word your whole life, and all of a sudden, you do start thinking about it in terms of phonetics, and it's got like all these other meanings come to light. So, in the sort of collective narrative that we've been fed, the word sulfur for the last couple of 100 years has been not so much more lately, but at the beginning of this of film and stuff, and in fact the novel which led up to that. We only had the novel for about barely 60 or so 50 years before we had films, I think. Um, so it's been less than 200 years that we've really had novels and films, and this use of the word sulfur in the narrative connected with like fire and brimstone, and which is kind of another word for sulfur in a way. Um, or brimstone is anyway. But this fire and brimstone, I mean, it's connected with the church and their preaching and stuff and about the devil. But there's a connection that's become like an automatic response for a lot of people over the years, and that's the idea of sulfur. It connected with evil and the devil and stuff like that, and demons and that. Now, there's some interesting facts about this. Um, your body needs sulfur, right? And the other element that, like on the dark path, the mercury is mercury, right? And we're basically given a narrative about mercury that it's really positive, you know. Um, so we tend not to associate like sulfur with Venus. Um, Although maybe some people do, they only in terms of Lucifer, and that relating to the devil and Satan and stuff. But it's not just sulfur; it's burnt sulfur that they're talking about. The smell of burnt sulfur, not just sulfur. Sulfur hasn't got much of a smell. It's the burning sulfur that gives off a really pungent smell. And sulfur is the element that's in things like eggs, which gives it their rotten, horrible smell, and cabbages and broccoli and stuff. Um, but those things haven't got a bad smell, except when they've gone off, and they've gone bad, or they've been cooked and the water's gone off. Okay. Um, Right, so it's connecting with the element Venus, and as we've we've pruned the tree, we've got rid of Mercury. Which, by the way, Mercury, your body does not need any Mercury at all. Mercury is poisonous for the body entirely. You can completely do without it. That's why we cut that bottom part of the tree off, and we keep the Venus because we need the Venus for our body. So the Venus comes into the base chakra, which is now the body, and the chakra system becomes like the seven chakras, where the base chakra is the physical body. Then above that we have the sun chakra, which also in a sense connects with those six chakras above the head, um, and it now becomes like the foundation sphere, like the sun at the centre, foundation, into heliocentric astrology, like and then above that you're going to have Mars, the destroyer. So that's going up to like. But then in some ways you've got the whole load of other chakras. You've got like 42 chakras above the head, something like that, or 35 or something, to collect and make up this huge other system. But each seven chakras is like one chakra, so you can still look at it like seven chakras or one tree. But it's just much bigger now. Now the soul fur is when the Venus comes down into the body, like into Taurus, the body, the fixed body, where it rules. Um, it's the soul fur. You get this like they're like the crystals of sulfur, like glassy, goldy sort of stuff. Like they become like the city that's made out of pure glass, pure gold, like unto clear glass. It gets talked about in Revelations 21. So that's the sulfur. And when you have all this in your body, this stabilized, purified emotions, and you get rid of the mind, so you're not distracted. You're unable to be influenced. You can't be deceived anymore. You're like the elect. You can't be deceived. And instead, you have all this energy, this sort of glowing golden yellow energy that emanates out of your aura through the astral plane. That you've now stabilized your astral body and purified it, and it's now in line with your physical body. So you're now like walking on the glassy surface, and nobody can come into this paradise that doesn't belong there, because your aura won't let them. It's like glass, it's like gold, it's like solid stuff. Your emotions won't allow it. They're like, they just, they're just dark. You can't allow them in. They're horrible, filthy things that just aren't allowed in this place. So that's what the soul fur is. It's the protection. It's for your soul. The coat for your soul. The fur. The natural, like, proper natural coat and protection for your soul. Gold. The sulfur. Soul fur.